Prepare for battle. The battle for the Halcyon Fold has begun.
Hey man, how's it going? Yeah. That's okay. I was just confused because I was like, how would I be shoutcasting if we're not calling? Okay. I get to run my input too. I'm at like 75 right now. All right. Can the stream hear me? Okay. Hey, how's it going, guys? Okay. Do you use like sunflower line in to like plug it in or no?
Double kill.
Hey, is it better? Oh, is it too quiet? Or can they just not hear me at all? Oh, okay. Yeah. I turned it up a little bit more on my end. So am I good to go, or? Okay. Alright guys, so we are starting about 8 minutes in, but we do have a team fight breaking out here. We do see Skye going in with that forward barrage, getting a lot of damage onto that Arden, using her Surrey Strike over to do a little bit more poke to him. She is weapon power Skye, so she does do a good amount with her auto attacks. Blackfeather actually going down, and the dive from Team Blue is going to cost them 2 of their lives, and now Arden diving back in, he goes down as well, and Red Team is going to head back down into the rotation box. Is going to clear some of this farm in lane, although Red Team pushing pretty far, and they may be able to get this turret. Yes, okay, so they're going to be able to pick up the turret. Skye is going to be able to take their backs, and looks like the Crystal Miner's going to go after Skye here. We see Petal trying to catch up to Skye. We see Petal team coming in, or Lance's team coming in from the other direction. Vox now attempting to take out Petal, but the spontaneous combustion ultimate from Petal is able to win that trade-off. The gauntlet coming in from Arden locks Lance in place. He actually tries to turn on Petal, but it's not going to be enough damage as Petal is able to take him out. She does have that Frostburn. She has the piercing shard, which is going to allow her to, you know, pierce through some of that shielding that Red Team is building against her. We see Blackfeather laning in this game, so 65 CS, 9 minutes in. Not too good, but we see Skye's, or wait, no, Vox is their laner. So 79 on Vox, 69 on Blackfeather. Vox definitely has the upper hand. In terms of CS, we see a Crystal Power Vox coming out. So hasn't been known to be very strong, but it's interesting seeing, or it's going to be interesting to see how Vox does in this game. Alright, so Blackfeather sensing that Red Team is on their way up. We do see Arden trying to get to his carry in lane. Does get zoned out by the Death from Above ultimate from Skye, and now Petal has to come around the other way. Their support is down. It's just up to Blackfeather and Petal now to fend off the incoming enemy team. The spontaneous combustion coming out from Petal, actually doing a lot of chunk damage to Skye as she uses her forward barrage in. Vox looking to get some damage. He may want this trade. The Impale comes in. Blackfeather just barely doesn't go down. Petal and Blackfeather escape with their lives. Very, very low. Both of them in this will mean the second turret for Red Team, pushing in very far. Arden is now back up, but it is too late for that second turret. Vox is going to go home, use the time that he has to pick up some defense. He did pick up the metal jacket. That's going to help him immensely against Blackfeather, who we see is building Serpent Mask and working into Breaking Point at this time. So it's going to be very interesting to see how much damage Blackfeather is going to be able to get off onto this Vox, because right now it's going to be fairly hard for him with that metal jacket. Lance coming up into lane to help his carry. We see blue team rotating down to go ahead and shop, Arden picking up a coat of plates, work towards an Atlas Pauldron for that Skye. Skye is definitely hard to get that Atlas Pauldron off of because she just dances around the battle, and it is very hard to get up close to her. However, if he is able to do it, that could be very detrimental to Skye's damage, and they'll just have to rely on Vox. Red Team now going for the gold miner. They want this payout. It right now, I believe, is full. It's hard to see the thing right now, but Quantive kiting back, doing a good amount of damage with those bounce damage from the resonance auto attacks or resonance bounces. You see Crystal Matter now getting involved as the Crystal Matter turns onto Vox. Spontaneous combustion coming in from over the wall, but Skye is doing too much damage to Petal. She may fall. She does not fall. Actually, Skye taking a lot of damage. Skye does go down. Petal is extremely low, but she will not go down. Vox now coming in from the opposite direction. Blue team, the Impale comes in. Very, very nice onto Blackfeather. Vox still desperately kiting back as he tries to get them off of him. And now Lance taking a lot of damage. Vox needs these kills, but he does not do much damage. Lance coming in with the Impale doing a lot of damage. Actually, Lance able to take down that Blackfeather, and now Arden escapes with his life and heading over to the safety of his jungle. However, he is going to back. He does not want that risk. So Crystal Miner now coming back after backing due to some low health. Red Team taking some of this farm in the jungle, and we see both of them now moving into their own jungle. We see in terms of vision, Red Team's definitely winning this game. We see scout traps all across this middle area with the Kraken pit, and then up into lane. Both are doing very well. In terms of the blue team, they have pretty much no vision, so they do have no ability to anticipate Red Team's moves, which is obviously not very good for them. So we're going to see how they are. They are going for gold mine. Red Team does have the ability to do this. They are ahead 6 kills to 10. In terms of gold, it's not too far. It is a 3K gold lead, which is pretty significant, pretty substantial 13 minutes into the game. However, it's definitely not something that means the game. Like, they'll still be able to come back from it if they do work as a team here. This Petal has to be able to focus down this Vox early, and they have to be able to focus down the Skye as well, because it's tough. Because Skye, is building up breaking point stacks as these team fights go on. So the longer that Skye is alive, it's going to be hard. And the same thing is true with the Blackfeather, who also has a breaking point. So he is going to want to try his best to stack up that breaking point and use it to the advantage of his team. But right now, no fights really happening. We just see kind of both teams walking around, farming up these minions. We are pushing into the almost 15-minute mark of this game. Kraken will be spawning very, very soon. Lance looking for a potential engagement onto Red Team. However, his team is just arriving. Vox getting that auto attack onto Petal. The Impale comes in from Lance, but it does miss. On-point trade-off from Blackfeather. Combat roll over the wall. Lance is going to drop some more scout traps. Arden now gaining some vision for his team. We see Petal just getting as much farm as she can before this potential fight breaks out. We see 10 seconds until Kraken spawns. They are going to go for a last second attempt for gold mine. It will be unsuccessful. They will not be able to get it in time. Blue team now rushing in as Kraken spawns, but they are pretty unorganized. They are completely split. The Impale comes in. Arden does get rooted Box is stacking that broken mid onto Arden. Now we see Black Feather going in onto Box. The gauntlet comes in from Arden, but 30 of them are taking a lot of damage, and Sky and Petal are having a duel in the lane. Looks like Petal's actually going to win until this Box comes back in. So Petal doing a good job of, fending off for herself. We see kind of that team fight split into two. We had Lance and Box against Arden and Blackfeather, and then we had Sky versus Petal, and actually Petal was winning her trade, which was really cool because Petal is actually on the blue team, which is behind right now, but her teammates Arden and Blackfeather actually did lose to Lance and Box. So really what they need to do right now is stay as a team and not separate. Right now we see Petal just going in completely unaware that the entire enemy team and Kraken is in there. She will fall due to Sky's auto attacks, very, very powerful auto attacks, and gap close due to that 3-strike, just able to go right up to the target. Arden now using that flare gun to get a little bit more of his bearings, but he does get rooted by the impale, and Red Team is still able to take the Kraken. So the War Barrage coming out, Arden using those war charts to get away, but they are very much wanting this kill. They actually go in onto Arden. Arden does go down. Blackfeather now trying to do some damage to Lance, but Lance's team is on the way. He has to back off. Now Blackfeather backing off as the Kraken marches in lane towards their base. Lance kind of just striding towards this third turret here as the third turret does drop. Petal taking a lot of damage. She will fall again due to some Sky's auto attack. Blackfeather is now going 1v3. He has to leave. He's taking way, way too much damage. And now this will be the end of the road for blue team. Most likely, we see only 2 turrets left. Only the Vayne turrets. The gauntlet comes back in, but it does get blocked by a very, very nice Crucible and actually an Aegis from Sky. Kraken now bearing down on this second Vayne turret as Arden and Blackfeather desperately try to take it down, but there just simply is not enough damage at this point as Arden takes massive amounts of damage. Petal is now out. Kraken is out about a little bit more than half health. Arden does go down. Blackfeather is actually able to pick up Box. Very, very nice. However, Petal does go down, so now Blackfeather is by himself. Kraken is still bearing down on his Vayne, and Sky's able to take him out. This will be GG. There will be a triple kill for Sky, and that is going to be first team going to Red Team. So we see a 39.5k gold lead to a 31 on blue team. So about an 8k difference at the end. They really were able to start that snowball and cause, the eventual collapse of blue team. But moving into our second game fairly soon here. Just waiting for a couple players. Wait, what's your like username on YouTube? Okay. All right, cool. Just loaded it up. Okay, gotcha. Yep, I'm ready.
The draft begins.
Boom. Aren't you a YouTuber? The Infuriating Nights, yes, I am a YouTuber. If you click on my name, it should take you right to my channel, actually. I do Vainglory too, so it kind of works out, but it was really good. Do you have experience in speech or something? I don't have like a degree or anything. I am a YouTuber. I've been a YouTuber for about 2 years, so it's just something I've been doing. Something I've been practicing.
Swap heroes.
All right, so actually I should have commentated over the draft, but that's okay. So we do have on the side of blue team, which was red team last time. So from Quantive, PvP Warrior, and Valentino, we have a Adagio, Koshka, Gwen comp. So we're going to see those buffs going on to Gwen a lot, boosting her auto attack damage. Most likely going to be weapon power Gwen. And then on the side of red team, we are seeing that support Arden with the jungle Sky. So red team actually taking after blue team, going to try out that jungle Sky like we saw last game. And then we're seeing a Taka. So I think the Sky actually will be in lane, and then we'll have a Taka in jungle. Going to be interesting to see which is CP and which is weapon, because both Taka and Sky are very viable in both a weapon power and a crystal power build. We've been seeing them a lot recently in both build paths, just kind of in meta. So as we see, as both teams run out to the lane, let's see, Sky is taking the lane. Okay, so we are going to see, looks like a Crystal Taka in the jungle. That's going to be very interesting. We do have the Shirokage Taka, tier 3 in the jungle, and along with Weapon Power Sky in lane. So similar to last game, that Weapon Power Sky is going to want to just utilize her auto attacks as best as she can, and probably get that breaking point very soon and begin just stacking that breaking point when we go into the late game team fights, just kiting away constantly and just stacking. On the side of blue team, we are seeing a Koshka pick, so it's going to be very interesting. We're going to see very aggressive plays from Koshka. Against Taka, it's going to be interesting because Taka is going CP as well, so both of them are going to be very, very bursty with their abilities. Both X-Retsu, Kaiten, and then on the side of Koshka, we have Pouncy Fun and Twirly Death. Going to be very, very interesting to see how those abilities clash. And then, of course, we have the weapon power Gwen. The boosts from Adagio are going to be very, very nice. Koshka immediately diving onto Sky, taking a lot of damage for it, though, taking some punishment. Gwen actually, adding some insult to injury as well with her auto attack. She doesn't have too much damage right now, but her forward barrage actually does have a weapon power ratio, so she is able to do a fair amount of damage early game and kind of just hold her ground. Obviously, we do see this Arden in game or in the lane with her, so it's interesting to see. Interesting to see that. Normally we see more of a Lyra, or like we're seeing right now an Adagio in lane, but Arden in lane is definitely interesting. I guess just keep Sky alive to get her farmed up for the late game. We see that heal going onto that minion, just kind of throw off Sky's last hitting. We do see Taka and Akashka, of course, farming alone because their supports are in lane. Akashka right now going back or picking up a heavy prism, some boots, and a crystal that's probably going to be working towards either Shatterglass Yeah, probably a Shatterglass first. Either that or a Broken Myth. Taka coming up into lane to do some damage. We see Arden diving in, and Taka goes in at the same exact time. He is looking like he's going to focus on Adagio, but he does not commit fully, and he actually backs away before Adagio completely goes down. Gwen using her time to her advantage. Actually, 27 last hits, 2.5 minutes in. Very, very nice last hitting on the side of the Gwen. 22 on the side of Sky. Very, very nice as well. So a lot better in terms of last hitting overall than we saw in the beginning of last game. So going to be interesting to see how that affects late game, how these two carries, Sky and Gwen, are able to scale into late game with this added CS, because right now Gwen has not shopped. So she may, at the 4-minute mark, go down to the jungle shop when it spawns and shop. However, right now she's just going to stick with this weapon power or weapon blade and continue with her auto attack. So we see 36 CS coming out from Gwen on top of 25 from Sky. So definitely Gwen beginning to increase and substantiate this lead in terms of CS that we're seeing in the lane here. Arden giving Sky the constant vanguards, but we will see Kashka wanting a gank here. She uses her Twirly Death on Arden. Arden taking a lot of damage. He may actually fall here, but he does retreat behind the safety of his turret. Kashka now looking for some farm. Arden is out in the open. She dives on him with Pouncy Bun and uses Twirly Death as well, but he's still not going to go down. He is very, very tanky. He does have the life spring, so he is healing up passively whenever he is not in combat with enemy heroes, essentially. So we do see Adagio now joining Kashka for the fight. We see the boost coming on. We see the heal coming on to Kashka. Very, very nice. The staple helping heals and boost of Adagio, the staple abilities of Adagio, and we see Arden now looking for the engagement. Crystal Miner coming down after realizing that there was a threat, and Taka and Arden continue the rotation through the jungle. They are both fairly low. However, Kashka is not, so she is going to use that Twirly Death, taking a lot of damage from that Taka. Wow. And she is going to just kind of play cat and mouse with him, dive in, dive out, and then we see Adagio just poking as he can, using those auto attacks and using that very, very long range to his advantage. Adagio actually has the longest range in the game, so we are seeing him use those auto attacks to his advantage. Whenever he can poke, he is going to be doing it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the builds. Once again, we see this classic support items coming out of Arden and Adagio. We see the Fountain of Renewal coming out of Adagio and Arden. In terms of the junglers, we see fairly similar builds. We see moving into an Aftershock and most likely a Storm Crown Taka, and then Kashka going to be going probably the Broken Myth route, but we also see her picking up that Chronograph so she can have that extra cooldown on her abilities. So we are seeing blue team push in very, very far, actually working down red team's first turret to less than half health. And now Kashka diving in onto Sky, taking a lot of damage immediately with those turret shots. Gwen now wants the damage as well. Gwen doing a lot of damage with that tension bow. The only kind of difference, he goes on to Sky, who does get stunned up, or the Taka gets stunned up rather. Taka does go stealth. Kashka looks for him, but she dives back on him after he gets revealed by the flare gun, taking a lot of damage. The Fountain comes out on the side of blue team. Arden goes down as well. That tension pro Brock, very, very nice on the side of Gwen. And now Sky is left to defend her turret alone. And Kashka wants some of these minions, wants some of these back on the side of red team. She wants to just continue to push this lead. We see Gwen going back in, just getting that tension bow proc onto the turret. The turret is now at 1/3 health. Just about, and we see the Crystal Miner now recognizing the threat of blue team, coming out to defend. We see Taka and Sky both now with full health, whereas we see blue team Gwen not quite at full health. So we do see a potential team fight, or a potential turret. No, okay, so they're not going to go for the turret. Red team, they realize that they're behind. They're playing very, very passive. They're just going to wait and farm up and see if they can make something happen late game. And let's see what they can do. So Arden and Taka. So let's see. Arden going to be working towards potentially an Atlas Pauldron to stop this Gwen, and then Taka finishing that Aftershock, and most likely the next item is going to be that Storm Crown. Meanwhile, the first turret on the side of red team will go down. It was not enough. not enough defense on the side of red team to keep it alive. Just Gwen and Adagio's auto attacks were relentless. A lot of weapon power damage. Gwen with 82 CS, 7.5 minutes in. So it's a more than 10 CS per minute. Very, very nice last hitting on the side of this Gwen. And we see with this, she's able to get the tension bow and the Sorrow Blade with the Swift Shooter and some defense components. So obviously being good at last hitting does pay off very, very much. Adagio now looking for the engagement. He does use the heal on himself. He wants to engage this. He wants to bring the enemy team close to him so he could use his Burst of Judgment ultimate ability. Actually, blue team getting clipped a little bit by the burst, or by the death from above from Sky. The flare gun coming in. The buckshot and is taking a lot of damage, and the ace is high. Actually takes out Taka. Tasha diving in with the Yummy Kind Frenzy onto Sky, but the gauntlet does separate her from him. She has to side back, and Gwen now able to take her out with her auto attacks. Tasha goes down, do some damage from Arden, and now Arden is left to his senses. He may want to back off if he does not want to die here. He also wants to defend his turret, but he has to make the decision. He dives back onto Gwen. Gwen wants this turret, so she is targeting it. However, she is now taking damage from the turret, and she and Adagio make the decision to back off. So we saw the immediate engagement from Koshka. Gwen was able to drop Taka so low, with first using that buckshot bonanza, then about 2 auto attacks, and then the Ace's High ultimate, perfectly skill shotted, was able to get him stunned out of his stealth, actually, and then Koshka was able to dive in with the Pouncy Fun and able to take him out. So very, very nice job on the side of Koshka, and that is going to be another team fight 1. So 4-1 in terms of kills. In terms of gold lead, we do see about a 3K gold lead coming out of blue team. So far blue team set up to win this game, but still anyone's game for sure. Both teams playing well. I think red team playing better than they played last game. We see them a lot more confident. Sky now going on to Gwen, using that forward barrage to his advantage. He knows that he has a lot of that damage on the forward barrage with the weapon power. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he handles that. Moving into gold miner, blue team wants this. Red team actually not even really aware that they're taking it. We see Arden just kind of roaming around, but he has no idea that blue team is taking and actually finishes the gold mine, gets the immense payout, and that is going to be a very, very nice job on the side of blue team. So heading up into lane, we see Taka and Sky kind of contemplating what to do. They've been in base for a while, trying to figure out their builds at this point. Sky looking like she's going into a breaking point, but then also not with that barbed needle. So kind of confused about what she's doing. Taka now caught in the open. He uses his boots to get away, taking a lot of damage. The Yummy Kind of Frenzy goes in immediately. Sky all the way in. The Ace's High comes in, followed up a very, very nice stun on the side of Gwen and Koshka. We see Sky and Koshka falling. So Koshka actually does pay with her life for that initiate on the fight. Gwen just wants to finish this turret so she can fight. Turret does go down. Sky dives in, but the Burst of Judgment comes out doing a lot of damage to Taka. Taka now tries to get away with his stealth. The Scout Trap does reveal him, though, and he's taking damage. He will go down due to that Sky, and now Arden is backing away smartly as he realizes that his team has lost the fight 6-2, and about a 6K gold lead now at this point emerging. So we see blue team at this point starting to run away with the game. They're getting the kills that they want. They are ahead, so they did sacrifice Koshka in order to, in order to win that engagement. However, they had the Adagio and Gwen stay alive as well. Whereas on the side of blue team or red team, we had the Sky go down and Sky and Taka go down, and then the Arden was the only one left standing. So Arden now, just kind of scouting out. He doesn't have much vision. He has one in this bush. He has one in this bush. So just kind of trying to not be like last game and trying to get some vision so he can anticipate the enemy's move. However, he does now realize with this flare gun that blue team is amongst them. Just one auto attack from Gwen is dropping Sky to about 3/4 health. Very, very nice damage on the side of Gwen right now. Here's the engagement. Koshka diving on with Pouncy Fun. Arden taking a lot of this brunt of the damage. Gwen actually diving in. Gwen wants to finish, but she's not going to. Pouncy Fun diving on this guy is actually going to drop her down. Very, very nice burst on the side of Flasher. Gwen wants his kill. She's going in. She's actually able to take out Arden as well. And now the Yummy Kind of Frenzy goes on to Taka. Koska does go down, but Taka will fall as well as a result of the massive amounts of damage coming out from those auto attacks of Gwen. And now this third turret of Red Team is going to fall. We do see Sky coming out right now. Arden and Taka are out in about 5 seconds. So they are going to try to go for this turret. Very, very risky moves. Arden is now up. Taka will be up in 3. They actually are able to take the turret. Gwen wants the kills though. She's going in. She uses the SSI. She's able to take out the Sky. Now she's taking turret aggro. The burst of judgment comes out. It does do some damage to Arden. It does get blocked. Stealth now on the side of Taka. The Atlas Vulture coming out of Adagio, but he is slightly late as Taka comes diving onto him. He does that have that aftershock, so he is going to be doing that damage with the auto attacks that he has after the Kaiten or the X-Retsu. He dive over Adagio with that Kaiten, and now we see him just kind of following up. Kajka's now back, though. The Yummy Kind of Frenzy coming on to Taka. She wants this damage. She wants to be able to finish here. Taka now smartly backing off with the Pouncy Fun. The Twirly Death. Taka taking some damage, and he will fall due to that last Pouncy Fun. So now Kajka is stacked up with her Broken Myth. She does have 9 stacks of Broken Myth. Now Sky is the only one left. Now Gwen is back, so now Sky is in very, very deep trouble, and she will back away. So that team fight, we saw a very, very interesting sequence of events where both teams were dead. We saw Gwen and Adagio pushing in the base, and then we saw Arden respawn, we saw Sky respawn and Taka respawn and slowly go after blue team. But as they baited them farther into the enemy jungle, they actually, so Kajka arrived and started taking out Taka, and then Gwen arrived and helped to take out Gwen. So they just, blue team, or Red team was not able to close the fight. They lasted out the fight too long. In fact, they lasted it out long enough to where members of blue team could come back after their death and finish the fight, and that is why they were lost this game as well. So another game goes to blue team. Final score 13-4. The gold lead was about, I believe, 8 or 9,000, maybe even 10 at the end of that. So unfortunately not able to keep up with red team. But very, very nice try. We just saw, I definitely think they played a lot better than they did the first game. It was just that they couldn't really stay on what they couldn't keep on the target. Like they would try to go for Kashka, and then they would like switch over to the Gwen, and the Gwen was just doing massive amounts of damage. I would give the MVP of this game to PvP Warrior. Very, very nice job on the side of him and his Gwen. Just the immediate last hitting, or the immediate very high and very strong last hitting in the early game just resulted in him having a tension bow and a sorrow blade by literally 8 minutes in, and that was just very, very nice. So yeah, just very, very nice early play resulted in the very, very nice late play. And yeah, very, very nice job by PvP Warrior and his entire team, taking 2 games 2-0. Yeah, I mean, the shoutcasting or the games? Oh, okay. Thank you. So is it best of 3 or best of 5? Okay, so that's it. Gotcha. All right, so GG guys. Thank you so much for watching. PvP Warrior is happy that he got MVP. Rice? Oh, I thought it was ice, but I guess it's rice. Yeah, those were really, really nice. Great job, guys. Red team ended up coming up on top, but I definitely saw blue team playing, or I guess Victory's team playing a lot better than they did the first game. They were just very, a lot more conservative in the way that they engaged. They were a lot more careful. They did try to get vision. So a lot of the decisions they were making were stronger. They picked a nice comp with the Sky. And this guy and the and the Taka, Stormcrown Taka can be very strong early game if you're able to pressure the enemy team. But it seemed like he wasn't really doing that enough early game. And of course, with the Koshka's a very, very strong early game hero, so she was able to just kind of counteract that Taka and what he wanted to do early game. So very, very nice comp and kind of responding in the draft by the side of Quantiv's team. Zonic has to fight. Yeah. All right. See you guys.